The cash value of faith and belief. Let us evaluate faith and belief and the actual difference it makes in our lives. To put this in perspective, ask yourself if color resides in the object or in the subjects. Is the actual color green found in the carpet in your apartment, or is it actually found in the operations of the eye and in the brain? Despite the answer, many might correctly say, who really cares? The distinction is utterly irrelevant when it comes to choosing carpet or decorating your basement, for example. Although I contend that faith is infinitely larger and more profound than just the brass tacks benefits, let us nonetheless apply a simple and down-to-earth litmus test. While belief does pose the risk of adopting a position without complete proof, thus, the risk of being wrong, the lack of belief poses a different kind of risk, the risk of missing out on the blessing. Now, before the atheist cried Pascal's wager, which is widely misunderstood by the flag thrower, this is not my larger point. I'm simply trying to point out the clear and tangible benefits to a life that allows room for belief and faith. Firstly, faith and belief provide hope at the point of death. I've heard many non-believers speak of this in mocking tones as if it's some sort of weakness of some kind. But if you look closely at someone making such a claim, you'll almost certainly see their nose begin to grow as they commit this white lie. All creatures fear death and have a built-in desire to survive. For the candid non-believer, death is a complete disaster, turning even the most successful life into a failure. However, although the idea of death produces anxiety in the non-believer and the believer alike, for the believer, death is not catastrophic. For the believer, death is viewed as a gateway into a better life. Faith makes this necessary passing of every human existence easier, and if nothing else, performs a function that no other facet of nature provides us. To ignore this real and substantial human benefit outright is hardly rational. Secondly, belief infuses this life with an enhanced sense of purpose and meaning. This is not to say that the unbeliever's life is aimless and without meaning or purpose of any kind. The atheist will fairly point to people and to friends, to social purpose, but alas, this is all temporary. Upon death, all these projects will inevitably become abandoned, all relationships terminated. It's not that one can't seek happiness on an island that's sinking into the sea, but that soon it will be completely submerged. From a non-believing worldview, this life, in Macbeth's words, becomes a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing at all. None of this is true for the believer, who is sustained by the hope and conviction that this life is completed and fulfilled in the eternal life to come. Furthermore, faith gives us a reason to be moral beyond our ever-changing whims, and it gives us a way to transmit that morality to our children. The atheists are sure to cry foul at this point and scorn what they call mercenary morality. But as the philosopher John Locke pointed out, virtues that are rewarded do not lose their splendor. On the contrary, it offends our very sense of justice when this is not the case. By viewing life through such a lens, morality becomes easier and more worthwhile. And finally, Harold Koenig summarizes a wide body of data, showing that religious people who affirm belief are far happier than non-believers. They're less likely to commit suicide, less likely to suffer from a host of other ailments, and as a result, to live a lot longer. Psychologist Jonathan Haidt points to a survey that says not only are Christians happier, but they enjoy a far better sex life. Sociologist Arthur Brooks concluded a survey that said religious people are far more generous than their counterpart. They give far more money to not only religious causes, but secular ones as well. And of course, none of this is surprising when you consider the nature of belief, and how it provides a simple motive, not just for morality, but for generosity, linked to eternal justice. This vast body of scientific data shows immense practical benefit to belief and faith. Living longer, happier, healthier lives with a greater contribution to humanity and society at large. Given this weight of sheer practical benefit to faith and belief, there is absolutely no room for the non-believer to claim stake to their beliefs being irrational. It seems in the face of this overwhelming evidence that unbelief is neither intellectually plausible or practically beneficial. Take it to the bank.